Hello, welcome to For What It's Worth podcast. We are the sustainability, nature, climate action podcast that makes big green issues bite-sized and explores whether there's anything that we can do to maybe save the planet just a little bit. I'm Emma.
And I'm Sophie. Thanks for joining us along our journey as we try to navigate living ever so slightly greener lives, usually with a few laughs along the way.
We try very hard. I tell you what, I can't wait for this episode. I think it's going to be full of some really intense, possibly dangerous pronunciations. Mm-hmm. We're chatting poisonous pets, and that's not the green tree frogs, venomous snakes, poisonous pets. It's the pets that we know and love, man's best friend, our beloved home-based pets that can actually lead to toxins getting into the wider environment.
Yeah, so this, I think, is an episode that will hopefully resonate, and it might even shock some listeners. Because, well, it shocked me. So I've been a pet owner, have in the past. I don't currently have any pets. But when I sort of read the research that's been building over the last few years that sort of says actually our pets could be really, really bad for the environment. And here's why. And P.S., no spoilers, but there's lots that we can do to help this. So it's a hopeful ending, which we like it.
We do like it when it's not just a negative episode.
No
it's
negativity.
You can do some stuff. Now that we've depressed you.
You can do lots.
Take some action.
Yeah, but no, there's some. It's a really exciting, quite fast-moving area of research, which speaks to us all.
Does it?
It speaks to us all, whether
do you
we're
think
pet
it
owners
speaks
or not.
to? I mean, I'm not a pet owner. I never have been.
Yeah.
Do you think it still speaks to the non-pet owner? Correct.
Yeah.
Well
so
spotted.
This is a conundrum that I've been thinking about a lot recently, and I guess it will make sense a bit later into the episode. But there's a particular paper that talks about how pets can poison the environment through their fur and chemicals that are placed on their fur when we shampoo our hair, when we apply products for heat protection.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting to be brought in so acutely into that conversation.
It's not even the afternoon yet, and she's talking about her fur. Good, yes, but yeah, lots of complex pronunciations, lots of science, which we like.
We do like a bit of science
here. As well.
Tell you what else we like.
Fur.
I was actually going to ask you what one good thing you've done for the planet this week. My favourite segment.
Yes, well, you're a lot better than me at actually keeping track of your one good things, because I feel like I slightly panic every time you ask me.
But I have to. That's exactly it. I know I've done the things, but I was in a meeting the other day and literally stopped the meeting. Was like, I have to write this down because otherwise I forget, and add it to my one good thing notes. Poor colleagues.
Feel very busy and important job. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Something like that.
A policy about rivers is just about to be passed.
Absolutely
like, sorry,
not.
Stop.
I need to write this down. Yeah.
One good thing. It felt like a good thing, but I went for a foraging course over the weekend.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I loved it. I'd never, and also, full disclosure, I only realised about 3 hours in that the guy who was leading it was the MasterChef winner of 2009.
Stop.
Matt Follis.
He didn't have that on his badge? I don't watch MasterChef.
Understated. I feel like 2009, 2010 was my MasterChef era. I was obsessed.
Just the one,
to
just
the point
the one
where
year.
I was in when I was doing psychology at A-level GCSE, and we were researching stress, and they were like going around the class being like, what is a stressful thing for you? And I was like, watching MasterChef.
I find that intensely disruptive.
But yeah, no, he was great. And if anything, we learned more about what can kill you in the environment as opposed to what you can safely eat.
It's very important. You've got to inspire people to realise there's food and medicine outside, but you also can't be like, just go and eat whatever.
Yeah.
It's very responsible.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you on your foraging journey. What did you find? What did you look for?
All sorts. We started on the beach, so we were in Dorset, and we found some seaweed. We found some shoelace seaweed, which we later cooked up.
Is that the stuff that looks like spaghetti?
Yes.
And does it function the same?
Yeah. Al dente. It will never go soggy. It's sort of slightly crunchy. I can understand after we cooked it with lots of garlic, lots of butter, I can understand why people would dehydrate it because it was really slimy still. Okay. So I had like a couple forkfuls, and then I was like, I've had enough.
I've tried.
Had enough. But no, we did that, and then we did hedgerows, and then we did stuff in like the grasslands, and I mean, you know,
in the grasslands. What were you finding in grasslands? I mean, hedgerows, you've got your berries. Is it called thousand leaf? It's like the really dense bushy leaf that can be a coagulant, so it can clot blood. So like plantain, is it? No, I don't know.
We did come across a plantain.
What's thousand leaf?
if you cut yourself, I can't remember what plant it's attached to. If you cut yourself in the wild and you find this leaf, you put it on there, it acts as like a band-aid. And kelp as iodine used in the war.
This is now a foraging podcast because I'm going to absolutely pick your brains.
I feel like you're a lot more experienced than me, but it felt like a good thing in that I can understand why a walk suddenly feels so much more than a walk, when you can appreciate that there is, as you say,
there's food everywhere, medicine everywhere, death everywhere as well. Be careful. A few poorly tums everywhere.
Yeah.
But then you can sometimes deal with some of the poorly tums by the things you find in hedgerows.
Yeah. Foraged some mugwort by the side of the road.
Oh, nice. Did you make tea, cake with it?
Yeah,
Did you get loopy dreams? I've heard that gives you funky dreams.
Jake got wild dreams. I got absolutely no dreams.
How disappointing.
I was so gutted. I normally have amazing dreams, but just dreams.
Mugwort just turned your brain off. You actually relaxed for once.
I think I needed a bit more. But yeah, it was great. What about you? What's your one good thing?
So I was referring to my list, and I'd written down some quite sensible things. Yeah, but they've been stocked up over some time, and I thought, actually, this one's quite funny, quite relevant to you.
Oh,
so you may remember 2 years ago, almost to the day, there was a rather big event in your life.
Oh yeah, I was like,
what happened there? You got married.
Yes.
Mark and I, so editor, filmmaker today of the podcast.
He's there
Husband
somewhere.
Mark, long-suffering Mark, came to your wonderful party.
Yeah.
And we slept in the van.
Oh, what were you going to say?
We slept in our... yes, sorry, that was maybe not the best way to start my sentence. We slept in our camper van, which we were allowed to do. You very kindly made some space for us.
Yeah.
And it's the best vehicle for weddings.
Yeah.
And at some point, I must have gone... I think I went to change shoes, and I had brought with me from the bar, you had like a kind of a horse box that came up with the bar, and I had a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And I'd brought the glass of wine with me to the van, changed my shoes, forgotten to bring the thing back.
Oh, is this a confession?
Yes. And then found it while we went to Ireland a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what I really need is a wine bottle or a wine glass right now. I did need a bottle also. I was like, I really could do with a wine glass rather than just always drinking wine out of like a tin enamel mug. I had my tea in that already.
Yeah.
And I was looking around, I was like, I think I've seen something somewhere. And I've still got the wine glass from your wedding. I was like, it's no longer single use. It's now van
such longevity.
wine
It must have been a
glass.
very good quality wine glass, very good quality vendor, very eco wedding. Very good.
Yeah, reduce,
no
reuse,
one wants
recycle.
tea flavoured wine or wine flavoured tea.
Absolutely not. It's a bit of a niche one there, but there we go. I thought, I haven't told you that yet. I'll tell you in person.
I like that. Thank you. Thank you for saving that one for me.
Should we go back to pets?
Yes. From wine to pets. What is a pet?
Please define for me a pet.
You said you haven't got any pets.
No.
Have you ever had any pets?
We've had fish for periods of time.
Yeah, classic.
And I bee kept for a while, but I don't know if you would define that as pets or livestock.
Well, pets, I guess, is a.
Well, I'll find out from your definition.
If only we had a definition. Fully domesticated, I would say.
Okay.
Part of the family.
Right, so not the bees.
Oh, no.
But the fish would have been.
Fish, yeah, yeah. We had fish. We've always had fish. Well, we don't have fish anymore. I was really I was very pet orientated when I was younger.
Well, you did want to be a vet for a while.
I wanted to be a vet for a long time. And my dad always had this aquarium that he had for years. And we had lots, it was a tropical fish aquarium. So an aquarium in the lounge was always a big kind of feature.
I think I remember that.
I would have funerals for the fish every time they died.
Well, it's a big moment.
No, guinea pigs were my thing, really. Do you remember my guinea pigs?
I do remember your guinea pigs.
I had 4 at one time.
Laura and I, my sister, we were so jealous. We really wanted guinea pigs or rabbits. My parents don't massively like pets, and I can totally see how much effort they are.
They're a lot, yeah. I had to clean them out every Sunday, feed them every morning. I took it so seriously, and I wanted to be a guinea pig breeder for a long time.
Fair.
Yeah, yeah. Not anymore, though. Then
just to clarify.
Then I persuaded my parents to get a dog. We had a dog. She was the love of my life.
Oh.
Yeah. And then she died.
Remind me of her name.
Sky.
Sky.
Yeah. But I guess looking after the pets was a huge part of my life, and I was very dedicated. I don't mind saying that, admitting how dedicated I was. But relevant to today's topic, I remember now suddenly talking about the guinea pigs that we also had to worm the guinea pigs.
Oh.
And put little spot treatment on just to kind of stop them getting parasites and things. And, they'd be running around in their run in the garden, potentially shedding their fur and doing all of this. So listeners, you'll find out why I'm talking about fur so much in a second. But shall we do the mini quiz?
Let's do it. I think it's your turn. Is it for a mini quiz?
It's my turn. Mini quiz. Mini quiz. Mini quiz. Okay, so this is relevant to today's episode because it's about fleas. And we're talking about treating pets for fleas and worms. And one of the things that is a serious consideration with the amount we treat dogs and cats for fleas and worms is because fleas are so astonishingly reproductive. They are very, their fecundity is high.
Such a good word, but such a horrible...
It's also kind of horrible.
Meaning, yeah.
So I want to ask you, Emma, about the flea's reproductive rate. How many eggs does a flea, on average, lay per day?
Okay, well, you said they're very fecund.
Fecund.
I have no idea. Like, do I lowball it or do I go really hard? I have a feeling it's loads.
Yeah. Okay.
1 million. I can never get these numbers.
Oh, you're going to be really disappointed now.
Oh, no.
I feel like I set you up to go into the millions. No, it's 50.
Oh, no. I really thought it would be loads.
50 eggs a day.
That's still, to be fair, that's still quite a lot.
If you... And our flea is obviously not a chicken, but if you were to... A chicken is a very tangible egg. What? A chicken egg is a very tangible egg.
Yeah, you're right.
50 a day would be a lot.
That is, yeah.
A lot.
Thanks for bringing me back down.
I mean, when I read this from the research I got it from, and they said it's, their fecundity is phenomenal, and it was like 50 eggs. I was like, not 50 million then? I kind of prefer
so you
50 million.
Were expecting the millions as well.
Yeah, but no, it's 50. But for
something very
the size
tiny,
of a flea,
the amount of body weight, I suppose it's shedding.
Yeah, many resources needed to make 50 eggs a day, and those eggs can be anywhere. Obviously, in fur, on fur, in the house, on the house. So this, I think, leads us nicely into what are the problems. So why are we talking about pets? Why are we talking about poison? Why are we worried about it? What can we do about it? Did you encounter any problems in your research?
Did I encounter problems in my research? Well, I tell you what I did find.
Oh.
In the UK, so I, obviously having not really come from a pet-owning household, I found it quite interesting to realise that there's about 10 million dogs and 11 million cats that are domesticated in households.
Many million.
That is a lot.
I feel like there's more than ever.
Yes. I also wonder whether the COVID spike of everybody getting pets has
I think that was a real
continued.
Thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everybody
more
still kept their pets, or now gone, okay, we are a pet house now, so we'll just keep adding to
like
it.
There are pets everywhere. Dogs everywhere. Everywhere you go. Oh, can I bring this dog into the cafe? No.
Is that a Tuesday argument for you?
Yeah, but you can.
But please do.
We do allow dogs.
As long as it's not been spot on flea tick treaters. But 80% of them apparently get their regular flea tick worm treatments regardless of whether they're necessary. And I think that's a crucial point that we'll return to.
Slightly over-medicating, perhaps. But yeah, there was this big study that kind of fired up my interest in it that came from the University of Sussex that found a really powerful, quite disturbing link between the health of songbirds in our gardens, like blue tits especially, are the ones that were studied. Blue tits are the victims of these worming treatments, these flea treatments, these spot-on treatments, and over-medication of cats and dogs, which is astonishing. I never would have put two and two together.
No.
Like, that caring, so me being a dog owner at one point, caring for our dog, being really diligent about giving her monthly worming treatment, monthly flea treatment, was actually polluting nature. Would you like some astonishing statistics?
Please astonish me.
This study was led by Professor Dave Goulson, who is a real figurehead in the kind of, in loads really, environmental pollution, invertebrate health, invertebrate biodiversity. So he found, and his team found, that blue tits and great tits are two of many birds that line their nests with animal fur on the regular. So you may, if you've ever encountered a blue tit nest, you'll see that it's so beautifully woven, a bit like thatch, with natural materials, much of which is hair or fur. In the study, they found that every single, so 100% of sampled nests contained fipronil, which is a key ingredient in these medications, and nearly 90%, so 89%, contained imidacloprid.
Oh,
Say that right?
imidacloprid. Yeah, I don't know.
It sounds like some kind of
I don't think I've ever said that word out loud.
Imidacloprid.
Yeah.
Or a dinosaur. But no, it's a chemical we don't want in nature. 89% contained imidacloprid and permethrin. And these are actually insecticides. And they're so potent that they have actually been banned for agricultural use in the UK and the EU, but can be bought over the counter by anyone with a pet. You can go into Pet's Home and be like, can I have...
Oh, I'll have those, please. Yeah.
It's mad. Like, how is that not regulated? And yet...
If we can't have it on our food and in our farming systems, but we can have it in our homes.
Over 20 million dogs
en masse in general, yeah.
80% of which have this on their body.
It's got to be down to like the emotional connection we have with our pets, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the feeling that by using these chemicals, I mean, you've listed 3 there. There's more. These are the 3 that reach the headlines a lot, and there's been like lots of research on. But like, it's the feeling of, it's my pet, it's my family, it's my, you're doing, the belief is that you're doing the right thing, protecting them from worse things by covering them with all these chemicals. But yeah, as you said, the research is now coming out that it's not so good. It's not so good. Would you like a cheeky deep dive on each of those 3 chemicals?
Please.
Yes, chemistry lesson.
Oh.
Have you seen or read Lessons in Chemistry?
No, but I've heard a lot about it. It's on my list. I'd love to.
Yeah. So this is the main character in that is a chemist, and she teaches chemistry through the medium of a TV show where she's teaching other women how to cook, but she's sort of teaching them chemistry while cooking. So I'm just going to imagine that I'm her right now.
Yes. What's her name?
I want to say Bonnie, but I'm pretty sure. That's the author. Elizabeth Zott is the character.
I remember she had a cool surname.
Yes. She somehow managed to learn how to talk to her dog. It was that was when I realised it was probably a made-up story, unfortunately. But for a while, I was like,
you can be
what an inspiration. So the first one we're going to talk about is fipronil. So this one targets fleas, ticks and lice.
Lovely.
And what I want to do is kind of have a look at how they work, because it's really easy to just be like, oh, it's bad. I thought we could get into the gritty bits.
Yeah, gritty. Yeah.
So what it does is it scrambles insects' nervous system. It's very good at blocking signals between nerve cells, and we do kind of need our nerve cells to be functioning properly.
Ideally.
Because otherwise you end up getting paralysed. And if you're experiencing paralysis, your nerves can't function, the whole of your body can't function, you die.
Can't do very much, yeah.
Super toxic also to fish, aquatic insects and bees, and it can wash off pets into our waterways. We'll go back into that.
Definitely. Emma cannot do a podcast without circling back to waterways.
Must talk about rivers.
Everything starts and ends with water.
Hold me back. How did you pronounce this next one? Imidacloprid?
Imidacloprid.
One more time.
Imidacloprid.
Imidacloprid.
I think.
Which I believe is a neonicotinoid. And
oh dear.
I don't know how to say that one.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, a word that people might recognise more, because the neonicotinoid is, as you said, the type of pesticide that has been in the news for being terrible when used in agriculture. Because we've all made that link now from, okay, well, if we need to ban this type of pesticide because it kills bees, that particularly is the link that's been drawn and got people behind this debate about use of this. But you might not realise that actually, while perhaps you've even signed a petition saying stop using this on our farms, you might be putting it on your dog, because it's really
That's
good
crazy,
at targeting.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like people, as you say, get very emotional about this because they're just trying to be the best pet owners they can. And they're obviously animal lovers, and so they care for the environment as well. But it's this kind of, this subtle killer that people have been facilitating, the system's been facilitating for years without us.
I mean, it's the same with us and antibiotics, right, isn't it? And we are going on a tangent now, but it's a similar link, isn't it? It's we know as humans we're using antibiotics far too frequently because the knock-on impact on the environment is that it's killing loads of other stuff things are becoming antibiotic resistant. It's exactly the same thing where we've gone, okay, well, we know we want to stay healthy, we want to keep our family members healthy, and we've been given this product which is going to do that without thinking about that knock-on effect. So it's the same application when you're looking at the medicines that you're giving your pets. And I've forgotten it again, imidacloprid?
Imidacloprid.
There's a D in there somewhere.
No, I don't think
Imidacloprid. It's actually easier to say. Now, am I decloprid?
Am I? I don't know. You?
Is that the episode title? Am I decloprid? It targets fleas, mostly the adult parts of fleas and some lice. And it has a nasty way of binding with insect nerve receptors as well. And it basically keeps them permanently switched on, which lead them to get really overstimulated. Again, paralysis, death. And basically that's what we're seeing in bee populations, other pollinator populations that have interacted with that on crops.
Bad.
So and so forth. The last one, permethrin. Have I said
Permethrin,
that?
yeah.
Permethrin.
Yeah.
And that whole family, there's lots of similar ones under the permethrin banner. Also targets fleas, ticks, but also goes for mosquitoes and mites. And it's a synthetic pesticide. What it does is it infects the insect's sodium channels in the nerve cells. Ooh. Again, keeps them open, nerves keep firing until the insect dies. And in some cases, it means that the jaws get locked open, so they can't bite, which is kind of stops them then latching on. And
yeah.
And what's interesting about this one is that it's also well known that it's toxic to cats. Lots of cats can't break it down in their livers. Yeah.
So that's not part of the flea and worming treatment for cats, obviously.
I would assume not.
Wouldn't be a very good vet if they're like, I'm so sorry, your cat is suffering from fleas. Here's some permethrin.
Here you go. I think it does get used on some cats because some cats have like a different tolerance levels to it. Sure. But if you were to use a dog treatment that had permethrin in, the levels of it in dog treatment is so much higher than when you would, in those rare instances, give it to cats. You should never give a cat a dog treatment.
I guess it's a bit like filling up a petrol car with diesel.
Yeah.
The car will.
Or just like taking your friend's prescription drugs that aren't made for you. Yep. all the diesel thing.
Those pills.
And this also is super bad when it gets into the aquatic environment. Really messes with the old fish and inverts.
The old fish.
Bad stuff.
Yeah, really bad. So further studies by the University of Sussex found that fipronil particularly persists in 99% of samples that were taken from 20 English rivers, with imidacloprid found in nearly 70% of samples as well. And I mean, just the whole wider ecosystem repercussions of this are really serious. So in the same study, going back to the blue tits, the nest mortality correlated directly with the concentration of drugs, which makes sense, but it was to the point where in spring, if this was happening, if the nest was made from pet fur and pet fur samples, the eggs just never hatched. All the chicks would die upon hatching.
The blue tits have lined their nest with things they think are soft.
They've gone to such incredible care to create this nest and nurture their growing young, and they never make it. And this comes at a time, of course, when almost half of all UK bird species are in a state of serious decline. Dave Goulson, when I spoke to him about this, because I wrote about this for a bit, he said that there's enough medication in the environment at any one point to pollute every single blue and great tit nest.
Oh,
very sad. And then when you extend that to freshwater as well, obviously, because dogs, famously, a lot of them love bounding into the water.
Yeah, sloshing about.
Especially in hot weather to cool off.
Yeah.
It's just going to go straight in the river.
Yeah, so I think it's important to say, like, a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about goes in what's called spot-on treatments, and the way those work is they're little sort of capsules almost of like a liquid insecticide, and you put it on the fur. It's like a topical application. It goes outside. You're not feeding them a pill. You're not giving them an injection, and it spreads almost through like the glands.
Makes their
and
fur
sits
really
in the
greasy.
fur. Yeah. So also means that it can be washed off, and that's exactly the thing. If they're bounding into rivers, particularly after a recent flea treatment, quite a lot of that is going to enter into the freshwater ecosystem. But it also happens at home. Every time you're shampooing or washing off your pets, you come in from a walk, they're covered in mud, you want to hose them down.
First thing you want to do.
All of that water, can't wait.
Cannot wait.
Exactly. Hose them down. Where's that water going? That's running off either into the surface drains outside your house. If you're doing it in your garden, might be ending up in your soil. Or if you're doing it in the bath, that's going straight into your sewer system, and then into where it should be, into water treatment. Now, from there, it takes two routes. It either goes into the water treatment plant, which you might think, excellent, that'll solve all the problems. No. They actually don't treat water for absolutely everything, and a lot of these chemicals aren't involved in the water cleaning process, so they'll just pass through the water treatment system, and even in the treated sewage and the water that comes out, chemicals will still be the same. Or if it's raining heavily, we all know what happens when it's raining heavily. even before it reaches the water treatment system, it's likely to get pushed up into our rivers as part of the storm overflow network. So it doesn't really matter where and how you do treat your pets with these products. Eventually, it's all going in the rivers.
Also, the fact that you're so right when you say that it happens in the house. There was another study that showed how much hand washing of the pet owners even in weeks after applying these spot-on treatments, and also just handling their pets, is a major contributor to these chemicals going into the water network, just simply by hands touching stuff and then
You've
washing
gone for
them.
a little scrunch.
Yeah, because I remember when we had our dog and we treated her with spot on, her fur would stay that kind of greasy, treated like texture for at least a week. Yeah. And also horses as well. Apparently that's another contributor. So in liveries and horse yards, these vets that I spoke to about this describes there was this direct down the drain pathway of fipronil, particularly administered in these like insane quantities across horse yards and similar facilities to protect hooves and fetlocks against feather mites. And when they would just like hose them down in the yard, they go down the drain, the horses would then go into their fields to graze and chill out, roll around, spread it all into the field, goes into the environment again. I think this must put vets in such a tricky position.
Yeah. What do you suggest?
Well, they're sort of trapped because there's an absence of alternatives and viable alternatives, because flea infestations alone can be they can be deadly.
Very nasty.
For dogs. So we don't want that. And then they've got millions of pet owners trying to do the right thing. And then they're also constrained by the fact that the flea is phenomenally reproductive.
Very fecund, as we've learned. With their 50 eggs a day.
But not as fecund as we expected.
Still, they get busy.
Fleas are so fecund that for flea treatments to be effective, fleas must be eliminated from 90% of the surrounding environment, so they can't reproduce.
Fleas must be eliminated.
Fleas must be eliminated.
It was the way you just looked into my eyes there.
Did I have good eye contact there?
It's a slightly threatening.
I'm trying to get better with my eye contact, because I've been told that I don't give good eye contact because
I've never found that.
No, I think because I look away a lot. Because I'm thinking.
But that's the thing. We're thinking very hard, especially when you're
trying in your eye.
when it's shown, isn't it? When you're trying to remember something, a lot of people look up and like left or something.
Yes, I think this is the thing. I have to do a lot.
You're going into the memory palace of trying to work out what you're trying to say next.
Yeah, no, that's me. But yeah, so fleas obviously need, as a parasite, they need a host to complete their life cycle.
Yeah,
eye contact, and but they spend most of their life cycle away from. I can't look at you. Can't look at me now. Anyway, where
do we get to?
Fleas spend most of their life cycle away from the host, which makes trying to eradicate them or treat them or reduce their population at least even more challenging if they're bouncing around all over the place.
It's also quite gross when you think about pets being in the home, I suppose, isn't it? And that's why some of the advice to get rid of fleas is like hoover your house aggressively and wash everything, including their dog beds and your own bedding and yourselves, because I guess there's just fleas knocking about everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of grim.
Yeah. I think my first instincts when I started reading about this was, well, what about flea collars? Because you hear about these collars that you can put on the dogs or the cats, and they kind of sort of slowly over time treat and act as like a barrier. And I think I certainly thought, it can't be as polluting for the environment because you're not physically dripping and dropping a liquid onto the fur. You're not applying it topically. Right. It's kind of absorbing slowly through this collar.
Is it the same stuff in the collar?
But it's exactly the same. There's the same harmful chemicals are in the collars as in the spot-on treatments.
And can it still travel then from pets?
Totally. It can
no.
Well, if the fur...
Because they're being marketed as a solution, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And the trouble is, and also you get some people saying that they find that essential oils are effective, but there's no proven studies behind showing they are as effective.
I've really gone into that rabbit hole this year because I keep getting ticks.
Are you quite ticky? I'm quite ticky.
Are we?
Yeah,
well, I've had 8 this good. Year. Okay, I'm on about 6, so you've beat me there. On the way to Lyme's disease, you've beat me. But yeah, petrified of Lyme's disease, but don't want to be spraying DEET and other products on myself. So I went down a bit of a rabbit hole of what natural sort of
cover yourself with peppermint oil.
Just absolutely, like thyme, oregano, cedar wood, and citronella. What you're supposed to do is mix essential oils in with like a host oil, so something like argan oil, which is like the carrier. I haven't really had time to do that, and I'm always just leaving the house in a rush, so I've literally just been dabbing like splodges of thyme on my walking boots before I go to the lawn.
Oh, on the boots?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't want it on my skin.
Yes. Okay.
And I don't know whether it works. And I also, I'm sure as soon as we start looking at... I don't think so. So that's purely anecdotal, and I wouldn't necessarily advise taking medical advice from me. But interesting. Well, that was a bit of a tangent.
We'll enjoy any updates on any future ticks. I think there's definitely massive research gaps in finding viable alternatives. And there's also a huge economic argument to reducing this obsession with over-medicating pets, and not maybe obsession, maybe that's the wrong word, maybe like this unseen, unspoken pressure of, we don't want them to get ill, so we'll just... It's like taking paracetamol in case you get a headache. You take it when you're having a headache, or you can feel you're about to get one.
You actually need things. But it all comes down to down with big pharma and profit for medicine, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a whole other episode. So let's go into some other solutions that we can look at. So we've ruled out flea and tick collars.
I think so.
Okay, yeah. You think so?
Well, they are still... You can still go and buy one today if you want. But I think if you're looking to reduce the chemical load on your pet and therefore the environment and in your house and on your hands, then I would stay away from collars. But then it's difficult. What do you do instead? You don't want your pet to get ill.
What do you do instead?
What do you do instead? Yes, rhetorical question.
And that's the end of the podcast.
So some of the vets that I spoke to about this, they all said that you can reduce probably up to 90% of any of these chemicals with immediate effect if you restructure the treatment of the animal in a case-by-case approach.
Oh, okay.
So
personalised medicine.
Exactly. So most veterinary practices are improving this, and they're tailoring the application of the sort of application window of these spot-on treatments, flea collars, whatever, to suit the individual pet and the owner's lifestyle. So, for example, if the pet is perfectly healthy, they've never had fleas, they're fine, they probably just need treatment as and when they may or may not get fleas or be in an environment that's had fleas. If the dog is allergic to fleas and has a chance of being incredibly unwell with a flea breakout,
could be infestation.
Yeah. Then apparently they should be prescribed monthly treatment. So that's an example, I guess, of a case by case. You look at the individual pet and then the owner and figure out what's best for them, rather than just like a blanket herd treatment of just let's just spray everything just in case.
Do you reckon there's an element of like, when you've got like young kids and nits go around nursery, and then suddenly, the WhatsApp groups are like, everyone check your kids for nits. We need to be on nit watch. Do you reckon it's a similar thing if you like take your dogs to either a certain park or like a training group, or like they all go to like doggy daycare together?
Yes,
if one gets fleas, it's like, okay, now we're all on high alert. Yeah. Now is the time. That's that trigger point for us to start thinking about treating.
Because you wouldn't treat an empty scalp for head lice if you didn't have any. I mean, I've never had head lice. But I'm really proud of it.
Sorry.
No one believes me. I've never had head lice, ever. My mum was...
Get it.
As soon as that letter came home from school, my mum was on it with the comb, and I always wore my hair in braids.
I believe that.
And I don't think I didn't get close to anyone.
You just had no friends.
Corner. I had no friends.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I've never had head lice. I've seen them on people a lot, obviously, but no, never had them.
Obviously, peering in.
What's when you sit on the carpet, teachers are chatting away, in assemblies, just, watching this head lice stand.
Oh, I don't think I ever saw the lice. It was always like the eggs that were like you'd see like white eggs in people's like dark roots.
No, awful. But no,
I do remember being sat in the bath and mum with the nit comb.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it.
Did you?
Yeah, it just felt
because
nice.
You didn't have nits. It was just a spar at your house.
I think that's a good analogy, though.
Exfoliant.
Yeah, I think when dogs are grouped together at these like ridiculous meetups on social media, it's like, it's a national insert
dog breed here day.
Yeah. I couldn't think of a single dog breed.
No, I was still at my moment. We've got very good friends who've got, I can't even remember. Like, this is the problem with not being a dog person. I don't know any of the dog breeds, but they have a very specific type of dog. I want to say it's like a Bernese Mountain Doodle or something. It's like it's beautiful. But she went to, and she does listen to the podcast. Hello, Sarah.
Hi.
She took Luna to like the birthday party of another one, and it was amazing because there was just loads of them. These proper, like, tons of these very cute.
It must
but
be
people
real high.
travelled.
Oh.
There was distance.
Okay.
Like inter-county movements.
Wow, okay.
To go. And so that was what I was thinking, very cute. But also maybe that's imagine. Yeah. But those kind of meetups, then you're spreading
breeding ground.
all
Fleas
over
are like,
the place.
whoopee, complete field day.
Sarah, let us know, did Luna come back from the birthday party with fleas?
Did you go to your veterinary surgeon and chat a case-by-case application schedule window after this meetup? But I think that's the thing, isn't it? And there's this amazing veterinary surgeon, conservationist, campaigner on social media, online, in real life, called Dr. Claire Whittle. Do you know her?
Not personally.
Know of her? She's called the regenerative vet, I think.
I've seen a few bits.
Yeah, she's good pals with Yo Valley. And we're here actually recording at Yo Valley, which is very exciting.
We're about to go and check them all for nits.
Lunchtime. But Claire is a really important, brilliant spokesperson for this conversation, and she works with farmers to treat livestock strategically because, yes, we're talking about pets, but over-medicating animals and animals who are roaming the countryside, spreading potential chemicals in the environment. This is also a massive conversation. And Claire argues that you can just simply plan the application window of these medications and these treatments with seasons. So she argues that spring is the perfect time, as a rule, whether you're a farmer, whether you're a pet owner, to broach the conversation about using less medication with your vet, because that is the start of the flea life cycle. So it's kind of like nipping it in the bud before it even becomes a thing. And then wider in the countryside, you can do management like rotational grazing, growing taller grasses that can be as effective as reducing parasite exposure as some pesticides. So
No way.
Natural pest management simply by where and when you're grazing, what plants are being grazed, what plants are in the surrounding area. Native species like, is it sainfoin? Is it sainfoin?
Say it with confidence.
Sainfoin, or I think it's sainfoin, maybe. And chicory. I know chicory. You know chicory.
We're familiar with chicory.
We know chicory. Let's say chicory. They pose a literal, like, structural challenge for parasites that want to climb up and then
interesting.
Sort of quest for roaming mammals to hop onto, like a tick, for example.
Okay, so we make it like go ape. And scuppers.
And they also contain natural insecticides. So Claire and lots of other vets and conservationists argue, and it always comes back down to this, doesn't it? Diversifying plants, having more plants in more places could be better for animal health as well as environmental health, wildlife health. Basically, medication should not be the first line of defence. It should be the kind of last resort.
A quick hop back to fur.
Hopping
We
like a
started with
filly.
fur.
Yeah.
We can end with fur. If you're like grooming your pet, I think there was a trend on socials a couple of years ago, it might have been now, of like putting, like, you'd like brushed your dog and you put the dog fur outside for the blue tits.
Yeah.
Don't do that, guys.
No.
Stick it in the bin. Don't even put it in your compost bin. Make sure you're doing all the kind of the washing, the hoovering, the brushing in the house, where you can bundle it all up, put it in.
Get rid of all the eggs.
Stick it in landfill instead.
All of these things that you can do so easily at home, but honestly will make a massive difference, because the key is to break the flea life cycle. And if they spend most of their time off the host, you can sort of, yes, that makes it a little bit more difficult, but you can do lots of different things to try and just remove as many members as possible so that their population is
Could you
less.
give us a quick whiz through the flea life cycle? Because you
No.
mentioned that, okay.
Well, go on.
Well, because you said that spring was like the time that they start hanging out. I don't know why. I assumed they had a very short life. I thought they were like fruit flies.
The flea life cycle
Thank you very much.
has 4 stages. We have egg, larva, pupa, one of my favourite words,
Lovely.
and adult. And it can take anywhere from a few weeks to several months, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is the thing, I think, when we're thinking about releasing our pets into the environment, we could have fleas that are at multiple but also equally crucial stages of about to produce more fleas.
Gosh.
50 eggs a day, that adds up very quickly when you have millions of fleas in the environment. So I think the key here with what we can do at home, it's an invitation to bond with your pet through good pet husbandry, which
Okey-dokey.
I think we don't ever need that much. Well, we shouldn't need much encouragement for. But it's also things like, so grooming, washing the bedding, being generally very hygienic, washing bedding with hot water, vacuuming sleeping areas as well, can help eliminate the eggs and the larvae that live there. But also being a bit more attentive on walks. Does your dog need to rush into the water a few weeks after flea treatment? And what I found really interesting is that most on the back of a packet of a given home treatment, it will say a mere like 48 to 72 hours of water abstinence. So don't let your dog in the water for about 72 hours. But what Dave Goulson's lab found in Sussex is that lethal doses of medication are still washing off dogs at up to 28 days after application.
Okay.
So if you do need to treat your pet, don't let them in the water for at least a month. And I know it's hard when it's hot, but it's also easily done.
Can't really explain to them why as well. It must be quite confusing.
But that's a really doable thing.
Just pick different walks.
Yeah, pick different walks. It's fine.
Spoken from someone who doesn't have dogs.
Famously.
Guys, just
no
pick
pets.
different walks. Change your life.
Yeah, maybe like if you're applying the treatment yourself, because we know that through washing hands, touching a dog that has had treatment, that goes into the water courses. So would you maybe wear gloves and then put them in the bin?
Gloves.
Bin the
yeah,
gloves.
Maybe that's true.
Just kind of
Whole other
good
problem, but there we
practice.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I hope you've all enjoyed that flea-riddled episode.
I feel a bit itchy. One other thing.
That's because nits have finally caught you.
Maybe this is for another episode, but I'd be fascinated to know if there's research behind what happens to like human hair in the environment that's been treated with, I don't know, hairspray, heat protection spray, serums.
Bleach to high hell.
Yeah.
You know, we do all sorts to our hair.
Because
And also,
we've shed.
don't you get some of the things that you ingest will also show up in your kind of hair footprint as well? I feel like you can take hair samples for
footprint?
illegal drugs and you can see when
Oh, really? Hair
you've
tells us a lot.
metabolised certain things.
Oh, wow.
I don't know whether, I mean, that would rely on them
because for so
consuming.
long. I mean, you can go see the bog people in Dublin
And be like,
Museum.
yeah, they smoked weed 3 months before.
And like, no, like Bronze Age people preserved in peat bog and their hair is still there.
Kicking around,
Yeah.
looking luscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't look bad.
Well, put a pin in that for another episode. Welcome. I was going to say welcome.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the end segment. Thank you for listening to this episode of What It's Earth podcast, which is brought to you with support from our friends at Pavelle Organic, who have very kindly actually given us a meeting room with which to record in person
Yeah,
this
it's very
next couple
kind
of
them.
episodes. So
very
thanks,
much
guys.
enjoying being in person.
All the actual eye contact that can happen.
Why don't you make sure that you've subscribed to the podcast so that you're the first to hear our episodes. We've got loads of good ones still coming up this series, and it really helps us reach new listeners and those who might be interested in coming along with us on our journey to be a little bit greener.
Yeah. For more from us, you can join us on Instagram at For What It's Earth Podcast. You can also be part of an upcoming episode, and I invite you to do so by sending us your own listener question.
You can send us an email at forwhatitsearthpod@gmail.com or a DM on Instagram with your listeners' questions. Maybe make them a voice note. We love listening
please
to you,
do.
hearing that you're actual people with actual real life voices.
You can also support the podcast if you fancy it by making a donation or maybe signing up to support us monthly through a platform called Ko-Fi.
Yeah, so that can be honestly like as little as the cost of a cup of coffee, but it goes a long way to help us cover the costs like editing and recording and making a podcast actually happen.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to those of you that already do that. We love you, we see you, and we really appreciate your support. And hopefully you're enjoying all of the bonus content that's starting to creep into the Ko-Fi feed. Exclusive stuff happening over on Ko-Fi listeners.
Totally exclusive. And if you can't get enough of What It's Earth, you can buy yourself a t-shirt or a bag on our T-Mill store.
All the links you need are in the episode description.
And we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye. For What It's Earth is hosted and produced by Emma Brisdion and Sophie Pavelle and mixed and edited by Mark Skinner.